What's up, brewskis? My name is Marco Dupa. With me, as always, the great and powerful Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Yeah, buddy.
Tonight's brew is from Monday Night Brewing. It's their Death Raptor Killer IPA. Obi's going to have a little bit more about that after the break. When I say a little bit, I mean a little bit.
It's a little bit.
What's on tap for tonight? We told you by the time that last week's episode will be out, the Oscars will be over with, and we're all on the other side of it.
And boy, are they.
And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna look back on award season and how everything kind of shook out. It was probably biggest moment in pop culture at that point in time.
Sure.
So we're just gonna recap if we were right, if we were wrong, if we should have put our life savings on some of our guesses, and some of the other controversies.
Yes, including Anora. Anora. There's been some backlash, as there always is whenever something sweeps. So we'll talk about that a bit.
I think
that's pretty much it, unless something comes to mind.
Yeah. So sit back, relax, and have yourself a good time, because this is episode 453 of the One Beer In podcast. Every time.
I was trying not to. Really trying.
How many cans do you think you've opened?
I think I'm too good at it.
Too good. I'm sure you can probably get how many cans? Not including soda cans, beer cans.
I mean, easily in the thousands, right?
I mean, maybe even hundreds of thousands. I don't think just thousands. I would say hundreds of thousands.
I'd go tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands, I think, at this point in my life. Yeah, because you have to think about all the times, like, back in the day, just, like, crushing, light beers.
Yeah.
In one fell swoop.
Right. How many of those you went through? Let's do some quick math.
I don't know if this is good radio.
I think it's good radio. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
This is a beer podcast, first and foremost.
Okay, yeah.
All right. The people want to know. Okay. Let's think about this. All right.
All right.
Here's the thing. I think it is good radio because I think other people would be like, I don't know how many cans I've had in my entire life. And I wonder, maybe I'll use this formula that he's about to come up with on the fly.
All right.
Also, I'm terrible at math. So let's just say at an approximate rate of, okay. All right. Now let's be for real. If, let's say on average, from year 21 to 35.
Okay.
That's what, 14 years? Did I already fuck that up?
Sherry, help.
No, 21 to 35. That's 14 years, right?
21 to 35. How
it's
many
14.
years?
That's 14 years, okay?
Yeah. 14 years.
There's 365 days in a year, okay?
Yeah.
365 times 14 would give us 5,110 days.
Okay.
All right. But let's say you're not drinking every day of the week.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
I
mean, maybe at 21, but...
Yeah, so let's just say on average, in your 20s into mid-30s.
There's a dramatic, graph that would happen, 20 to 26, probably, and then
a big drop-off from there.
Yeah. Then responsibility of life comes in. And
right, so let's say the number was super high from early 20s to, mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And then it drops to, say, 2 or 3 days out of the week now in our 30s.
Yeah. Probably half the amount that was consumed in the early half of my 20s.
So let's just divide by 2. Let's just say half that time.
Okay. Sure.
That's a very conservative number. Probably not even a good number to use.
Yeah. But you have to take into account weeks where you wouldn't have a drink, or you would just not have beer. Or not open a can.
Or have a bottle. Yeah, right.
Or maybe you'd go out somewhere instead of having beer at home. Mm-hmm. So, I think that should be taken into account. And also on the opposite side, during the holidays where you're having more than you normally would.
Right.
So that should take into account too.
Mm-hmm. So let's just say we've had at
Flat
least
rate.
one can
Yeah.
2,555 times, right? So now you have to say, all right, and on those days where you drank and had at least one can, conservatively, how many cans on that day do you think that you've had?
Depending on the drink itself, I would say anywhere from around 3 to 5, I think, on average.
So then let's just say times 4. 10,220.
There you go.
Yeah. So tens of thousands.
Kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
It felt right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably true.
Upwards of 10,000.
If we're saying that
cans.
was conservative, 10,000,
Yeah.
and you pretty much nailed that, then I would say a realistic number is closer to 12 or 13,000.
Yeah. Say on the higher end,
Bump it up
15
a
maybe.
little bit,
Yeah.
Not touching 20.
No, but there's time.
But I am surprised, actually, to even take like that rough number, that'd be closer to like 20, 25.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're welcome.
Okay.
Now you can take that formula that we just created and find out how many cans that you've had in your life. The people who are older who listen to this show, think about from 21 to, 40, 50,
Sure, yeah.
60. You know what I'm saying?
So probably rookie numbers to you.
Right. You're probably looking at that like, I am in the hundreds of thousands.
No judgment. Yeah.
So, let's get right into it.
All right.
You want to tell the people a little bit more about what we're drinking tonight?
I would love to. Unfortunately, there is no cold read on this can, so I'm going to have to go onto the website. But this is the Death Raptor Killer IPA from Monday Night Brewing. Comes in at a 6.9% ABV. I think they may have just been funny with that.
Yeah.
The cold read goes as follows. Out of the Jurassic jungle of juice comes an apex predator with the vicious intent of slaying your palate. Death Raptor Killer IPA's zesty citrus fruit aroma lures you into the glassful of sweet surrender. Flavors of tangerine and grapefruit mingle with the malt backbone of Pilsner and flaked oats. This IPA appears pleasant, but you may never escape its delicious grip. And just so you know, Monday Night Brewing is out of Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
And really the main selling point of this, other than it being, dinosaur themed, is that it says deadliest by 5/30/2025, which I like.
Love
I like
that.
That's good.
Love
Good
that.
touch. Good touch. So yeah, let's clinker and drinker.
Let's do it.
Definitely get that grapefruit.
Mm-hmm. This is the kind of stuff that people come into Red Light and they're like, you have any like grapefruit IPAs? I'm just like, get out.
Get out of here. Get out of my
face. Get the hell out of here. Okay. Oscar recaps. Ladies and gentlemen. So, a couple episodes ago, we gave our Oscar nomination predictions.
Yeah.
Who we thought would win and whatnot, right? And that was based mostly on vibes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Adam has seen a couple of them: Conclave, the
Anora,
Substance. I haven't seen, I don't think, any of the nominees. Now that it's all over is usually when I go back and try to see as many as I can, and then look back and be like, yeah, they got that one wrong. It's usually what I do. Go back through the years and be like, no, now that I've seen that movie,
Disagree.
Wrong. People do that now with like Brendan Fraser with The Whale. Now that the dust has settled on that year, that comeback year with all the sympathy and all the, wow, he's back and he did a movie and he was sexually assaulted and he was so brave and he was blackballed for a while in the industry and all the other stuff and he came back and he did this movie and it was a critical darling.
The Fraser Renaissance.
you're a couple years removed from it, and you're like, well, was it that good though?
Yeah, you know, I as someone who's seen The Whale, not to go too far off on a tangent here, it's a really good movie, but I think a lot of that had to, and again, not trying to take anything away from Brendan Fraser because I love the man. I think a lot of that did have to do with his story more than the movie itself, and people wanted a win for him, and I think that may have swayed things his way. I'm still happy it happened. I'm still happy it happened for him.
Yeah.
But yeah. Not a movie I would go back to.
Well, yeah, definitely not.
Not that has to be the main like criteria for movies or for Academy Award winners, but you know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure we talked about this when it happened, but just to give you guys refresher, the year that he won, he was nominated against Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Bill Nye for Living, and Paul Mescal for After Sun.
Yeah.
And
kind of a weak year.
Yeah, pretty. Other than Colin Farrell, he was magnificent.
Oh, sure, yeah.
In The Banshees of Inisherin. And I know a lot of people liked Austin Butler and Elvis. I still haven't seen it. I don't really have any. I mean, I like some Baz Luhrmann stuff. I like his creative eye. I do like how weird he is, but also.
But no one makes a movie like him. So.
Yeah. There's nothing really interesting to me about the fucking Elvis movie. So.
It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. But anyway, so
watch out, mama.
let's just get it out the way. What we got right and what we got wrong.
Okay.
All right. First of all, Best Actor.
Yeah.
We were both kind of right and kind of wrong. You were really pushed all your chips into Timothée Chalamet.
I did. I thought it was his year. I was wrong.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, it wasn't, and it's not going to be. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about Timothée Chalamet now, okay? Now that he has lost in what was definitely the year he should have won, he will not get it for another, 10 years. And then when he does get it, it's going to be some passable.
It's going to be for The Revenant.
Boring. Yeah.
It's going to be for The Revenant.
Yeah. They're going to remake The Revenant.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, and that's when he's going to win. And everyone's going to be like, man, this has to be like his second or third Oscar, right?
Yeah.
Nope. It'll be his first, and it'll be for a movie that was like, meh. And there you go. We both had Adrian Brody as right there, probably the Oscar baity choice.
The easy
I did
pick.
think Sebastian Stan was going to get it, or Adrian Brody. So it did go to Adrian Brody.
Yeah. 2
Oscars now, and it was really funny. People were talking about his filmography and how at this point he won. I believe he's the youngest actor to win male.
Right? for The Pianist. Yeah,
and then he just does. And he just has he just has the strangest career because every couple of years he pops up in something and you're like, oh, fucking Adrian Brody, that's awesome. And then he goes back to doing just straight to DVD
garbage.
Filth. Yeah.
Yeah. Garbo.
And then pops back out and then has another incredible performance.
Figures out an accent and
yeah. And here we are.
Yeah. Gets another award for it.
Who knows? He might get another one. And I really think Adrian Brody has 3 Oscars in him. I do. Yeah. I think he makes the kind of choices. And I also think that he continues to live in Hollywood despite making clunker after clunker after clunker. He's one of those guys that Hollywood will just continue to give roles to. And also he's amazing as Pat Riley in the that Showtime the HBO show about the Lakers.
Yeah. Which got canceled, right?
Yeah, after 2 seasons. It's fucking crime. He's great in that. I mean, Adrian Brody, he was another one that, after the awards, all of this stuff starts coming out, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I guess he kind of sucks.
Yes.
And it's so funny that all this stuff only happens after the fact. I guess some people are out there, beating that drum. Hey, man, he doesn't deserve this.
Yeah.
And then we all just go, whatever.
I guess.
Best supporting actor was Kieran Culkin had been cleaning up at pretty much every other award ceremony, so that was the one that was kind of a shoo-in. And we both said Kieran, so we were right there.
Uh-huh.
Our parlays are already busted, though. by Best Actor.
Yeah.
So Best Actress, again, you were very confident that it was going to be Demi Moore's year.
Should have been.
And
I still believe that.
But you also, for the record, and to your credit, did say Mikey Madison deserves it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure it was going to be... I forgot her fucking name. The actress in A Complete Unknown. I was positive that was going to be the only Oscar that movie won. And it was going to be that. And we were both wrong. Well, you were half wrong. So Mikey Madison. Best Actress. I said that it could go to Zoe Saldana, but because I guess I'm sorry, it's Saldana now.
Saldana, yeah.
I didn't realize it was Saldana.
Well, because when she first came out, it was Saldana.
And then she put that accent mark
put
over
the Enya,
it.
put the Enya back on top. Yeah,
it was like now it's Saldana.
Yeah.
So Zoe Saldana.
Yep.
Gets it. You said. I forgot who you said.
Yeah.
It wasn't Zoe. It wasn't Zoe.
Yeah. I can't recall.
But the real story here is not just Mikey Madison getting Best Actress. It's Anora and what it did in the other categories.
Yeah.
Best Director, Best
Original
Movie,
Screenplay.
And Best Original Screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
And
editing.
It got editing as well?
I believe so.
So, kind of cleaned up in the other categories, which was the big like Oscar day Cinderella story, I guess. Yeah. This little indie that could.
Right.
And I mean, the second that it wins all these awards, now all of a sudden everybody has an opinion on it.
Sure.
So, I don't know. A lot of stuff about sex work and a positive portrayal of sex work, I guess, which was a bad thing, I guess?
Well, as Twitter has said, the people who are saying that Anora has a positive outlook of sex work hasn't seen the movie or has very bad comprehension skills.
Right.
Because it's not, I wouldn't call it a positive portrayal. I'd call it a humanistic portrayal of sex workers.
Yeah.
I think that much is true, but yeah, to put it simply, I think a lot of this backlash is just people being mad at something that is popular, that has become popular, and trying to find reasons to be upset. Like, it's the outrage culture kind of stuff. Because I saw people like literally scouring Sean Baker's social media to see his follows, and they found that he followed like babes of the IDF, and they were like, oh, well, we can't trust this guy.
I mean, I don't think that's a story, but I do think it is hilarious that he follows that account.
Sure.
Why would you do that? Why would you follow that account?
Well, it's that was followed up by someone retorting by sharing his reviews on Letterboxd, and his reviews for certain movies that are like very much like left-leaning, like very liberal coded, and like not feeding into the narrative they're trying to stick Sean Baker into as being this like hyper conservative guy that just kind of plays around in Hollywood for funsies.
Yeah.
So lots of conflicting reports about this Sean Baker fella. Should that affect your opinion on Anora? I don't think so. I haven't seen anything that's been convincing enough for me to take back my fandom of that movie, or the fact that I think it is deserving of everything it has won.
Yeah.
I just find it funny that there's just like immediately, like you didn't have to wait a day, like a full day, and people are already like looking for stuff.
Do you think that people who do that, do you think they're looking for stuff because they just know that rage bait and outrage culture like gets attention to their own pages, or do you think that people, maybe it's a little of both, I guess, but do you think that maybe there's other people who look at this and go, oh, that's great, I hope this Sean Baker fella is not a piece of shit. I better go and search slurs in his Twitter to make sure he hasn't said anything crazy.
The answer is both.
Right?
I think it's both probably. And I think a lot of that has to do with like, you know, the younger generation being so plugged into social media and not and really using it as like an extension of their own personal political beliefs.
Right.
And it being so hyper tied to being able to really condone someone or not.
Well, everything that they do and everything that they are fans of or a part of seems to have to be a reflection of their personality and who they are.
Yeah.
And I think that is what drives people to do shit like this, because it was only years after the fact that you would find out that somebody sucked.
Yeah.
I just, there would never be a situation in which I thought, oh, I like this movie, I better go make sure that everyone who was involved in making it is a good person.
Sure.
I just didn't care enough about something like that.
Yeah, and a lot of that wasn't publicly available.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
or at least not as publicly available as it is currently.
But the things that I like, especially when it comes to art, are not like intertwined with my personality or who I am, bless you. Or who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Like you can be a fan of, you know, bad people in movies as far as like who they are, like the characters themselves, and that doesn't have to be intertwined with you.
Sure.
And I think that's the problem, especially with younger people, is like, you want to talk about old man yells at cloud. It's like it's young man yells at cloud. It's
true.
like they're looking for something to be upset about, especially when a movie like this, like, why? I don't know. In what universe does it matter? I mean, obviously, if he is trying to say something like, what was that one movie? Fuck, I'm spacing on it. Shit.
What was it about?
Oh, I remember. The Professional with Jean Reno.
Leon the Professional?
So the movie is, if you haven't seen Leon the Professional, it's a really good movie, but it's Jean Reno who plays a contract killer.
Yeah.
And through situations, he finds himself taking care of Natalie Portman's character, who at the time she was like 11 or 12 years old.
A baby.
And she's been traumatized. Her family's been killed.
In front of her. Yeah.
In front of her. So she's going through a very traumatic thing, and she's like, she doesn't know what to do with like her feelings, right, about everything that's going on. And there is some part of it sort of like a caretaker thing where she thinks she's falling in love with him, and it's this weird kind of thing where he
also has like the personality, an emotional like capacity of like a kid.
Yeah,
himself.
he's they don't explicitly say it, but he's a simpleton, basically.
Yeah.
So his whole thing is just like, no, that's wrong. You are a child. I am man. That is not okay.
It's a very good French accent you
Thank
have.
you. Thank you. That was
Yeah.
that was. I'm glad you picked up on that,
Spot
because
on,
I was gonna be subtle about it. I wasn't even gonna mention that I did that, but
Yeah, it's like I was in Paris all of a sudden. It was
picked
crazy.
up on it.
Yeah.
So good movie, but you find out later that the writer of the movie
And director
Luc
Besson
is a pedophile.
Yeah.
And the original script was supposed to be a dead-on romance between the two of them.
Yeah. And someone along the way was like, let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Hey, idea. Let's not do that.
You have a nugget of something really good here. Let's not fuck it up by doing that. Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is because you watch a movie like Leon the Professional and you're like, this movie's awesome. Then you go about your day. And then you find out later that had the real movie come to fruition, you would be watching this movie, right? And you'd be going, well, that's a fucked up relationship. And there is a bit of like, that's the conflict of the movie, right? Is how fucked up this relationship is. But then when you find out that he he's like into it, right? The writer, Luc
Besson, yeah.
Then you go, okay, how much of what he truly believes is being transported into this movie?
What are you trying to say with this?
Right. So I guess
also an issue with any Polanski movie I watch now.
Right.
And
right.
mind you, like Chinatown's my favorite movie of all
Big
time. No, one of them, I should say. Vertigo's my favorite movie of all time, if you're asking. But Chinatown is very, very high up there. And unfortunately, it's all marred by the fact that Polanski's a terrible person.
Right. And so I guess I bring that up to say that it's not... Did the camera just die? Yeah. Oh. It just zoomed back.
The lens just went back into the frame.
What should we do about this?
You could just put up a picture, I guess.
For the whole rest of the show?
I guess so. We'll go old school and just audio only.
All right.
Can take our pants off now.
Well. All right. There's no rules. We don't have to look like anything. You guys can't see us anymore.
C'est la vie, as Luc Besson says.
Taking my shirt off. Yeah. Taking the hat off. Taking my shoes off. Taking my...
There's no rules.
Put your shirt back on.
There's one rule.
All right. Okay. What was I saying? What point was I making?
That the fact that Luc Besson is a bad man.
He's an actual pedophile.
Right.
And Roman Polanski is an actual bad person, right?
Yeah.
So you go back and you watch these movies and, you have to watch them with a grain of salt. So I guess what I'm saying is basically it's not bad to want to know that the people who make these movies are good people, or at least people that align with your
beliefs.
Yeah. But I guess my thing is I think young people especially are taking it too far and needing everything to align perfectly in their perfect little political spectrum.
Sure.
And if it doesn't, then all of a sudden it's a problem.
Well, it feels to me, and mind you, if you're one of those younger people, let me know. But it feels like it's almost like everything that you associate yourself with, everything that you watch, everything you read, is potential backup for your point of view. Right. And your entire position is trying to accrue as much stuff that you can use as like, this guy's cool because he believes the same thing I do.
Yeah.
Or on the opposite end of the spectrum, go, this guy likes this and that makes him a scumbag. Ugh. And so therefore everything he's done is trash, and let me paint that picture for you.
Yeah.
Like it all seems to be like not enjoyed for the sum of its parts, or not even like consumed for the sum of its parts, and trying to look at it in any objective way, but just trying to find evidence one way or the other that can either contribute to your cause or contribute to you pushing against something else.
Well, I mean, their cause either way, whether it's the thing that they want, the thing that they want to champion, or this thing that they're fighting against. Yeah. This it's championing their cause either way. And I mean that. I don't know if anybody is even going to have the self-awareness enough to say, that's. I mean, I'm looking for stuff basically as confirmation bias,
sure,
and not as art.
Yeah.
But it does feel like that nowadays. It feels like I need this thing to perfectly align with like when everybody got mad at Justin Long in Barbarian. They're like, he's too good at that. And like him dropping the F slur in the movie. Yeah. I saw people that were like actually going like, why is he so good in this? He must actually be this kind of person. Or when he dropped the F slur in the movie, they were like, was that necessary?
Breaking actor good at acting.
And it's like, dude, to think, I gotta turn this down. To think that it's a bad thing that he was good at playing a scumbag and not just that he's talented.
Yeah.
And to think that because it's a movie, I don't know, a newer movie, 2021 or 2020, and he drops the F slur in the movie and everyone's like, ugh, that was weird. I don't like hearing that nowadays. It's like, yeah, man,
that's the point.
That's the picture that they're painting of this guy. He's not a good dude. That's the whole point.
That's exactly the point.
That he did what he was accused of doing.
Yeah.
And you're going to find out later that he's not just a scumbag, but a really, really bad person.
Well, on top of that, he doesn't see himself that way, you know?
Right. Right.
The nonchalantness, nonchalantness of him saying that slur so off the cuff is supposed to be part of the story.
Yeah.
You know, like that's important.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too, actually, moving it back to Nora, is a lot of people, a lot of Gen Zers, I hate to point fingers here, but a lot of Gen Zers,
fingers getting pointed,
were out there saying, you know, Anora is just porn, basically. Like, oh, too much nudity.
And what of it?
I mean, that's my point.
You know?
That's my point. Well,
Sherry said you should watch this movie because boobs.
Because
that's what you said. That's a direct quote, right? That is exactly what you said. This movie is good because boob. One single solitary
boob.
And that's why I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Forget the Oscar nominations or wins.
No.
Because boob. And I think that's okay.
Boob is all you need.
Boob is all you need.
Yeah. No. I think that entire pushback about it being too sexual or having too much nudity in it is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, all of them have this weird thing with sex now. They're very Puritan.
Yes, which is weird.
So strange.
Very weird. We talked about this before, but I mean, I was actually having this conversation with Sherry yesterday.
That's 3 drops, I think.
That's a lot of drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are
the topic.
I mean, you kind of are.
Can we be the Wait, can I be the topic?
Yeah, let's just talk about Sherry.
Okay, great. So Sherry told me to watch this movie because of boob. No. We were talking about the fact that people were kind of pushing back against Anora because of its inherent sexuality and nudity. And I think if you watch the movie, not to spoil anything at all, but the nudity is purposeful. Like, it has a reason behind it other than to titillate. It's not really supposed to do that.
I think we argued in that episode when we talked about it that most nudity is necessary.
Yeah.
Whether in the movie it's there to tell the story or it is there to titillate. And most nudity in movies pushes the plot along.
Well, it's there. Very few and far between in movies are there things accidentally in there.
Right.
You know? Somebody decided to put something in there. It might be a boob. I believe...
Just the
one boob. I believe that even if nudity is there or sex is there for the sole purpose of titillation, or, you know, even exploitation, it deserves to be there.
Yeah.
that is the responsibility of a filmmaker to decide what they want their movie to be.
Right.
And if it's going to be exploitive, that's fine. You don't have to watch the movie if you don't want to. I think all of it deserves to be there inherently because it's somebody's vision of what they're trying to do.
Right.
Now, it can be done in a classy way. It can be done in an absurd way. It can be done in a dramatic way. It can be done any which way you want to. But the fact that people are pushing against nudity flat out and just saying, like, we shouldn't have nudity in movies or sex scenes in movies anymore, it's just silly.
Ridiculous.
It's baby brain.
Yeah, it's baby brain.
Stupid.
Dumb. Other words.
So,
not those words.
Yeah.
Huh? Baby brained. It's baby brained. It's smooth brained.
It's real smooth brain activity.
Real smooth brain activity.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't get that pushback, and I disagree.
I don't think I ever will understand, because anytime I see arguments about it or against, you know, sexuality in movies, it's always just the most. It's just childish. Every time I see it, I feel like, oh, this was written by a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Which is crazy ironic because it's 17, man. Buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You were looking at boob.
I saw 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 boobs in a day. You know, I know, right? 4 boobs.
There were 3.
And they were
Total
great
Recall.
New York boobs. Yeah, 3 in Total
3 in
Recall.
Total Recall.
That was almost my entire allotted amount of boobs in one movie.
You almost hit your boob cap.
Yeah. I had to turn it off and
Yeah.
then watch a movie that had one boob, maybe
Yeah.
just side boob in it.
Even it out, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, all right, I've hit my allotted amount of boob. It's time to move on.
How many butts equal a boob?
Ooh. One butt to boob, the butt to boob formula?
Yeah. What's the ratio on that?
I mean, I'm an ass man, you know what I'm saying? So like I'd say two butts are worth, or one
One in
butt
the
is
bush.
what one.
Yeah. That checks out.
Yeah, that's two butts is worth one in the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they have just kind of I think that young people are going to regret this very aggressive position that they're taking on art.
Puritanical
Yeah,
movement.
because it's not going to stop at sexuality. It's gonna push into language.
Yeah, they're
and it's
cursing
gonna-
too much.
Yeah, and it's gonna, then it's gonna get into like what kind of clothes that you can wear in certain movies, and it's like, oh, that's a little revealing. And what are we doing here? Why is this, that, and I think like if you don't put a clamp on it now, man, this is what happens with artwork like this.
Yeah.
You start to lose things, beautiful things, like
boobs.
butts.
Oh.
I threw you for a loop there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'll be their cross to bear.
They're
Their
about
butt to bear. Yes.
Because we'll still have our movies,
It's true.
and if all their movies are just different versions of the movie Silence, have at it.
I love Silence.
It's a great movie. I'm just saying,
I would be fine with that, actually.
if every movie you ever watched was a different version of Silence,
Yeah.
you're sick, man.
Just
You're sick.
in like a different
You're
country.
sicker than the people who only want to see boobs in a movie or don't want to see any boobs at all. You're sicker than both those people put together. See, you're a masochist. The kind of movies you watch are torture. The kind of movies that you make other people watch are torture too.
I'm just Catholic.
Yeah,
What's about.
that's really what it is, and that's what makes you a sicko.
It's true.
Being Catholic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should have abandoned that a long time ago.
I tried.
And now here we are.
The sadness remains.
I'm surprised you're not on the other side of this argument.
No. Because again, I like to suffer.
Well, the call of the boob is
It's strong,
it's
my
strong,
friend.
So there's only so long you can resist.
Yeah.
The call of the boob.
If you try to resist too hard, it just hurts you.
Mm-hmm. So don't resist. It's like a Chinese finger trap.
The only way out is to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The only way out is in.
It's true. It's true. It's the way of the boob.
The way of the boob. Okay. What else? Conan. Conan did a fantastic job, which we knew he would.
Yeah. My expectations were high for him, but I think he nailed it.
Yeah.
I think it was presentationally really well done. Mm-hmm. I know they had some issues early on, like technical issues, but that's not on him.
Yeah.
So
I think you have to. I think we're past the days of the Ricky Gervais thing, and I think I said this before when they announced Conan, but the Ricky Gervais thing I think is done. We don't need a guy going up there and being like, all of you Hollywood elitists need to burn in hell.
yeah.
And also, here are the nominees
Congrats.
for best. Yeah, it's like, all right, man, we get it. You're better than everybody else. Just move along.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually surprised that they brought him back. In retrospect, I
Yeah,
am very
yeah.
surprised that they brought him back to do it.
He was
twice.
apparently surprised too.
I think it's insane. I think that the producers of the Golden Globes were just salivating at the idea of going viral again.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That they just didn't care how the show was presented.
Yep.
Not to say that I give a fuck about a bunch of millionaires' feelings, but I just don't think it works. It worked the one time because it was so shocking.
They're shocking, yeah.
The second time you come back and you're like, what? Okay, so he's just gonna be mean again?
It's not fresh anymore.
What he should have done
was
is
be really nice.
Be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have gone not the Conan route, but he should have gone like the entire opposite direction and be.
What are you guys expecting?
Yeah, like for me to be mean. No,
Yeah, no,
and
no,
then
no.
just start complimenting people, and like it would have been fantastic. And then maybe at the end, he goes off on like a tirade, and they have to like drag him off stage or something like that. We should be producing these
true,
award
yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And there would be a lot more boob.
It's true.
Just the one,
At least
though. One floating like a screensaver, just bouncing back and forth.
It's like it's a little like a blimp at basketball games.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
floats
It's just bouncing off
it
the
drops
ceiling very
t-shirts.
slowly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's like when you leave your DVD alone for
Yeah,
too
yeah.
long, and then a boob. Everyone follows the boob as it hits the corner of the
It
screen.
changes colors every time it hits the corner
boob.
perfectly. Yeah.
Everyone cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 20 minutes of the show right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
These things write themselves.
It's just a screensaver, yeah. I do think that Conan kind of got it right as far as how mean to be and also how kind of respectful of the entire pomp and circumstance.
Well,
he was
because
too. And absurd.
Because he wasn't like mean so much as if the jokes had a mean-spirited tilt to them, it was the topic of conversation.
Sure.
So it made sense for him to go in that direction or to take the piss from somebody who he was never just looking people in the eyes and being like, you are a terrible person. I don't even know why you're here. You deserve nothing.
None of it felt really mean-spirited. It just kind of he took the piss, if you will.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I think it was the perfect blend of like what the tone should be for something like the Oscars.
Yeah.
I think it was pitch perfect.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'll probably be the last time that they ask him. I don't know if he'll. I don't think Conan is a guy who's going to go back and like do that multiple times.
Yeah.
He seems like he's like, I did it. I did my thing, and now I'm good. Because I wonder, after he lost the Tonight Show, for instance, you have to imagine at some point before the Fallon thing, they were like, you sure you don't want to come back? You
Yeah.
sure you don't want to come back? And he's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I guess, begs the question, moving forward here, the fallout and the aftermath of the awards ceremony. It's over now, and here we are on the other side of it. You got Anora that cleaned up in all these big categories.
Yep.
You got some surprising winners, some surprising losers. The fallout's pretty interesting because you've got Adrian Brody as a 2-time Oscar winner.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only a handful of male actors who have done. There's only a handful of actors, period, in the history of Hollywood, that have multiple best actor, best actress wins. I think Dylan McDermott has 2, and Meryl Streep has 2.
Yeah.
I think, and maybe Kate Winslet. I want to say Kate Winslet has 2.
Okay.
And then for the males, I know Jack has 2, Tom has 2, Denzel has 2. Probably some old actors have multiple ones.
All right. Let's see. According to Wikipedia,
Let's see how many I got.
Katharine Hepburn,
Fuck.
Meryl Streep,
Okay.
Jack Nicholson,
Yeah.
Ingrid Bergman,
Ingrid Bergman.
DDL, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep. Oh yeah, of course.
Francis McDormand.
Did I say Dylan McDermott? I did say Dylan.
You did, yeah.
Francis McDormand.
Walter Brennan, Betty Davis, Spencer Tracy.
Any awards before like 1965, I'm like, all right, you won 3 of them when they made 3 movies a year.
Yeah. I take back Walter Brennan. He won for Best Supporting twice.
That don't count.
Okay.
We're not counting that because then you'd have Mahershala and you'd have Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
And you'd have Who else? A lot of guys. Well, Walter Brennan.
Yeah.
No, I want the big categories.
Okay. So
Best actress, best actor.
keeping it up, Spencer Tracy, Marlon Brando.
Brando.
I
I can tell you, On the Waterfront and Godfather.
That's right. Jane Fonda. Dustin Hoffman.
Okay, hold on. Dustin Hoffman won for Kramer versus Kramer.
Mm-hmm. That was the first one.
What would he get another one? Rain Man?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Tom Hanks, as you said. Mm-hmm. Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, yeah, because he won for The Father.
That's right. And Friedrich March.
I don't even know who that is.
I-
I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't know who that is.
Well, he won for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
In what, 1942?
31.
Fucking A.
And then The Best Years of Our Lives in 46. Gary Cooper.
Gary Cooper.
Cooper.
Super duper.
Jodie Foster.
You know Gene Kelly? I think he only has an honorary Oscar.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think he ever won a Best Actor Oscar. I think he only has one honorary Oscar.
Shame.
Yeah.
They should feel bad for that.
They should.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that she was that critically acclaimed.
Yeah. Sean Penn.
Wait. Milk?
Yep. That was his latest one.
Mystic River?
Yep.
Okay.
Nailed it. I'm gonna go with the people that we know.
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, That's a recent one, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sally Field.
I didn't know that one. There's multiple. There's a lot of people.
There are actually a good amount. Vivian Lee. Gone with the Wind and Streetcar Named Desire. Hilary Swank.
Well, she got $1 Million Baby.
And
Boys Don't Cry?
Yep.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody, as we said.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we got.
Okay, more than I thought, but
Yeah.
still not as many as you would think.
Sure. I mean, it is a relatively short list considering, how long they've been doing the Oscars.
Well, and also, okay, it's like the 98th or 99th Academy Awards, and like the first 40 of them were just like, those fucking movies. So, not to say
The disrespect for the foundation of this beautiful art.
Listen, this is what I'm saying, okay? I'm not saying that they don't deserve them. I'm saying that it's like when you have an award ceremony for the 5 district managers in a place, where they all run some paper company and you give it to the best district manager in the greater Vermont area. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It was smaller.
back in those days.
It was a little smaller. Yeah, it was a family business.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, you're going to give multiple Oscars to a dude who's in the only 5 movies that they filmed that year. It's like, sure, okay,
that
he's
was
gonna
in theaters for the entire year.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, every human being who had the resources to go see a movie saw the 1 to 2 movies that were in the theater for a whole year.
I do wonder how big the Academy was back then.
It was probably like 6 people.
Yeah.
And the guy who won the Oscar probably voted for himself. So that's all I'm saying. It's like the same argument when they talk about okay, the Celtics and the Lakers have the most championships. But their first 10 to 15 were back when there was 8 dudes on the floor, and whoever had the tallest black guy was the one who won.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So after you get into the late 50s, early 60s, you start, knocking out multiple of those, that's when the competition's a little stiffer. That's when black folks are allowed to make movies now. Now
It all starts with Wilt Chamberlain.
It all starts with Wilt the Still.
That's when you start counting it.
Right. Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm looking directly into the barrel of the camera, even though
I know
it's not filmed.
It's instinct.
Yeah. I'm just staring right at it.
It's okay.
Anyway, so now Adrian Brody is on this short list of actors and actresses with multiple Oscars. And like I said at the top, I really do think he's got a third one in him. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's young enough. I think he's still in enough He's gonna be in enough stuff, and coming off of this, they're just gonna like throw movies at him.
Sure.
And he's definitely gonna do like a bunch of clunkers that go straight to like MGM Plus.
I was gonna say, I really hope like he and his agent actually take advantage of it, because he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do these like crappy comedies.
He didn't have to then. I just
No.
think he has a bad sense of humor, and I think he just wanted to do those movies. Well, look at the SNL shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he
Yeah,
just
I
thinks
forgot
that
about
shit is funny. And I think he probably reads those scripts. There is no way, even before this, there is no way that Adrian Brody needed to do some of the movies that he's done.
No, certainly not.
Let's look up his filmography. There was one that he did that now has kind of gone viral a little bit.
Oh yeah,
You saw
the
the,
comedy.
yeah.
The like straight to DVD
Like,
comedy he did.
Hold on. Like he's got some good movies.
Of
in
course,
there. It's just,
yeah,
it's so
yeah.
strange. He has 2 Oscars, a BAFTA, a Golden Globe, a Critics' Choice, a César Award, in addition to nominations for 3 Emmys, 5 SAG Awards, and 1 Laurence Olivier Award.
Wow.
Let's see. I'm gonna just get to his filmography. Oh, the Oscar Kiss has its own category
Wow.
because it's,
Yeah. And they had to redo it this year.
Yeah, I
too.
saw that. Weird
stuff.
Okay. We're gonna get past all that stuff.
Yeah. Let's get to the real movies here.
Let's get to the real movies. Let's just start with The Pianist, okay? He does The Pianist, then The Singing Detective. That was right after The Pianist. It was an American musical crime comedy.
Wow.
Loosely based on a BBC serial. It has RDJ in it.
Okay.
Katie Holmes, Adrian Brody. So I've actually never seen that, and I actually kind of want to see that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think it may have disappeared for a good reason.
Why? Is it bad?
It's probably bad.
Well, let's see. Let's see if the it's got has a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. Anyway, we're not gonna go.
Yeah, let's not go down that road.
The Village.
Yeah.
He did his M. Night Shyamalan movie,
Sure.
as they all do for some reason. The Jacket. Never even heard of that.
Nope.
King Kong.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And then Hollywoodland.
Yeah.
So, and then the Darjeeling Limited.
Yeah.
So he's on a roll
Great
here.
movie, yeah.
I don't know what Manolete is. Also known as The Passion Within, Blood and Passion in Canada, and A Matador's Mistress in the United States, is a 2008 biopic of bullfighter Manuel Laureano Rodriguez Sanchez, better known as Manolete. Manolete?
Yeah, Lete.
So he plays
A Spanish
he
bullfighter.
plays he plays a okay. Man,
Sure.
Adrian Brody, really the ego on that dude, man. We were talking
He believes he can do anything.
We were talking about the Timothy Chalamet thing, and everybody saying like how, or not everybody, but some people saying like how arrogant, it is for him to have this kind of attitude towards the SAG Award. The real arrogance
Oh my god.
is this fucking guy, man. This fucking guy. The Brothers Bloom, 2008 American caper comedy.
Wow.
I don't even know what the fuck kind of genre that is.
I love an American caper comedy.
Caper comedy. It has a 68% on Rotten Tomatoes.
not bad.
So it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Cadillac Records, which is underrated, not great,
Sure.
but not terrible. Most Def plays Chuck Berry, which is awesome. I don't
Giallo.
Oh yeah, okay. Dario Argento movie. Splice.
Yeah. Notable.
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, of course.
So he's not doing that many, but he does a lot of movies. That's the thing. He's on a streak right here, right? He's got a lot of decent to good movies. Fantastic Mr. Fox is an amazing movie. High School and American teen comedy. Another one of those things where you're like, okay, this is where he starts to you do a movie where you're like, okay, wait a minute, what the fuck is this?
Oscar winner doing a pot comedy.
Yeah, it holds a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. Okay, so you're like, okay, Adrian, what are you doing?
So maybe he's just kind of like a movie slut.
I think
he'll just do anything.
Yes, and I think that some of these guys who do that, like Bruce Willis is another one of those guys where he just, and obviously we learned later that
Sure.
the reasons kind of sucked. But
Right.
there was a while there where I was like, he'll fucking do anything,
Yeah.
man. But he was so good that they're like, yo, when we need a Bruce Willis type, let's just get Bruce Willis.
Sure, yeah.
And Adrian Brody is that same kind of person where, like, I guess it appears that he's just going to do any of these fucking movies. And then when a big studio comes a knocking and they're like, we need an Adrian Brody type, well, he's still rocking and he's
He's
good.
ready.
So he did Midnight in Paris. He plays Dolly in that.
Yeah.
That's his Woody Allen movie.
He's worked with some very problematic people.
Really has. This is the one that we were
The
talking about.
inappropriate
The inappropriate comedy. 2013 satirical sketch comedy film directed by Vince Offer. It stars Ari Shaffir, who also co-wrote it.
Oh, wonderful.
Rob Schneider, Michelle Rodriguez, Adrian Brody, and Lindsay Lohan.
A veritable who's who.
So Vince Offer is, if you guys don't know, this movie was directed by the Slap Chop guy.
Yeah.
So if you're aware of that, that's who made this movie. I guess if it's co-written by Ari Shaffir, I guess at that point, maybe you're Adrian Brody and you're going like, Ari Shaffir's funny. I like him.
Yeah.
And he wrote this movie, so sure. I don't know. I don't know why you do that. Third person, a romantic drama film. This was an ensemble. You got Liam Neeson, Mila Kunis, Adrian Brody, Olivia Wilde, James Franco, Warren Attias, Kim Basinger, Maria Bello. Then he does the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
I always call it the motel.
Yeah, it's
in my
bigger
head.
than that.
American Heist. This is another one of those things where you're like, what's he doing in that? Maybe he thought that was going to be...
What's that dog doing?
It's him opposite Hayden Christensen. We all know how I feel about Hayden
We
Christensen.
sure do.
Sorry, it's not good.
Let's not unhash that, please.
Okay.
Leave it hashed.
Dragon Blade. So this is like the second time he's done
He's in
one
a
of these.
Chinese movie.
Yeah. Sorry, I skipped one up here. Back to 1942.
Oh, wow.
It's another one. A historical film directed by Feng Xiaozhang, I believe. Please don't come for me for that.
Xiaogang.
I tried my best. Xiaogang. I don't know that.
Like, these movies look fake.
Yeah.
Manhattan
and I
Night.
guess that's the thing. Like, look at these. Okay, from 2015, here's where we get into a really strange place. Okay, he does Grand Budapest Hotel in 2014. American Heist, Dragon Blade, Backtrack, Septembers of Shiraz, Manhattan Night. Emperor doesn't even get it to... Oh, it was unreleased. That's why it doesn't even get a wiki page. Bullethead, which was Adrian Brody, Antonio Banderas, and John Malkovich. Another guy who'll just do a bunch of shit. Airstrike, another Chinese action movie, war drama that he did. Clean, where he plays... I don't know.
A guy with a shotgun.
Then The French Dispatch.
Yeah. So he goes back to his auteurs
Right.
every once in a while.
And I think that's the thing. Okay, he was in the
Blonde.
that fucking
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe movie. Thank you. Manodrome, don't know what that is. Ghosted, it's that terrible movie with Ana de Armas and Chris Evans. Fool's Paradise, another American satirical. He likes doing like these satirical comedy movies. This was that Charlie Day movie where he switches places with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
This was like his big
His
project
baby, yeah.
that like fucking flopped like
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Unfortunate.
And then back to Asteroid City, back to our boy Wes Anderson.
Yep.
And then The Brutalists.
And then The Brutalists, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's kind of good, I guess, that he has that kind of work ethic, because that's probably what got him in The Brutalist.
yeah.
Because it was apparently such a low budget movie that I'm sure they couldn't have gotten many other A-list or A-list adjacent actors to do that.
Right.
So it paid off.
Fuck it, Adrian Brody will do it.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, he'll do anything. If we just throw him a couple $1 million, he'll do this.
do
movie.
it, yeah.
And then he just so happened to put on the performance of his life.
There you go. Hey, it worked.
Strange, though. Strange. Not everybody can have a Daniel Day-Lewis filmography.
No. Very few can.
Some people have to take what they can get. But here
He doesn't need to take that much,
exactly.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
He
My
doesn't
argument
need
is
to.
that I think he's just doing shit because he likes to do it. I don't think that he is in any way a quote unquote working actor. You know, he's not one of those guys who's like, I just have to do shit to keep my lights on.
Sure. Yeah.
I think he just does shit.
You know, I respect it. I respect the fact that he just wants to keep working.
There is no reason why he needed to do inappropriate comedy.
No.
Inappropriate. One of those anthology movies.
Ugh.
Terrible. Anora is going to be I don't know. I think this is a liftoff for Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
And I do think that Sean Baker's going to get a lot of love after this, probably. He's probably going to get one of those big studio movies after this. But I think Anora as a movie is probably going to be forgotten in the annals of time. That's my prediction.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of people are going to come back and reference that movie like this is one of the all-time great movies. I think it's one of those that wins, and it's like
a launch pad for other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like The Pianist, for instance,
Sure.
Going back to Agent Brody for 2 seconds, like that movie, I've seen it. Maybe I watched it again just to be like, yeah, I guess he deserved it.
To be fair, it's a Holocaust movie.
It is
so-
tough. It's tough, but I
Yeah.
mean, Schindler's List is not a fun watch, but a good watch. It's a great movie. And what I'm saying is,
Mark,
hold on, guys. Let me just work this out, okay? Let me get there.
Look, I've no room to talk. I've said multiple times I enjoy watching Schindler's List. It's a great movie.
That's what
It's
I'm
very
saying.
well made.
That's what I'm saying. And people go back and they reference Schindler's List
Yeah.
as just a purely great movie. And you don't talk about the fact that it launched Liam Neeson's career or anything,
Sure.
or that he was snubbed for the Oscar, although
and,
he was.
and Ray Fiennes.
And Ray Fiennes.
Yeah.
But that movie's just purely good.
Yeah.
Right?
Well-
Not to say that Anora isn't. That's not the point
Yeah,
that I'm trying to make. I guess what I'm saying is like these movies now are at a disadvantage because they're being released the way that they're being released.
Mm-hmm.
And the industry is in a way that it is such that they don't have the same shelf life.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Well, I mean, that is a byproduct of there being so much stuff.
Yeah.
So much stuff to
Oh, I hate
distract
it.
you, to pull you away into watching a TV show instead, or to playing a video game, or whatever.
I mean, honestly, going back to like the plumbers and carpenters who made movies in the 40s who won a bunch of
Yes.
Oscars. Again, that was
Those
because
Great journeymen.
they were the only ones making movies at the time.
Yeah.
There was like 12 people in the industry. And so
Okay.
you were just stuck with that thing for
3
years.
studios.
And nowadays so much stuff comes out that these movies don't have. I mean, like, you know, think about the last couple of winners. I mean, Coda is a big one that people reference all the time, where they like it was kind of like in that crash category where you look back and you go, did it really deserve to win?
Whoa. It's no
I'm
Crash.
not saying that it's Crash.
It's no Crash.
I'm saying that it's in the same kind of tier where people look back and go, this movie didn't deserve. And all right, let me just also say for the record, I haven't seen Coda, and I'm not
a good movie.
judging it on
good
its
movie.
merits. I'm just saying the perception of the film is
Yeah.
that it didn't deserve to win all of those awards that it won, and it was kind of a gimme in that regard. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah.
don't come for me. Okay, Coda's good according to you.
It is.
And
It's a good
according
movie.
to the Academy.
Real
okay?
tearjerker.
Don't come for me.
Good family
I'm just saying.
drama.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I think we're getting to a point where like a lot of movies they're just not going to have the same shelf life, and that's really like Anora, for instance. Anora ironically was one of the only movies that I had heard about before award season.
Yeah.
I'd seen some trailers for it and I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. Like, it was an interesting plot that I thought, And then when I saw that it got a lot of good reviews, I was like, okay, interesting, because I thought that movie was going to be just like a silly, fun movie. No, it's looking to be like a critical darling.
Yeah.
And then it gets all these nominations, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know what the fuck The Brutalist was until like 2 weeks ago. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't even know it was a fucking movie until I read something about the AI stuff and all that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Adrian Brody's in a new movie.
Yeah.
A Real Pain. I saw a lot of stuff about A Real Pain. And trying to think of what else I was like aware of before award season.
Obviously,
The Apprentice.
obviously, Wicked.
Wicked was huge. Yeah. Yeah, I was having this conversation with someone else. I do talk to other people.
Oh, wow.
And basically, movies, the like big movies don't really get nominated as much now. There's like a healthy balance of big, massive movies and these indie darlings. But the problem is these indie movies. You used to watch the Oscars and go like, oh shit, I didn't even know Paul Newman was in that fucking movie, and he got nominated for an Oscar. That's crazy. Good for him. Now it's like either Wicked or Conclave.
Sure.
And you're like, wait, how'd you even watch Conclave? By the way, you didn't go to the theater?
No.
Watch
It's
Conclave.
on Amazon.
See, and that's what I'm talking about.
It's on Amazon.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Movie got nominated for multiple Oscars, and you're like, how'd you watch it? I don't know. I found it on Amazon Prime.
Streaming somewhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
An Oscar-nominated movie
Right.
is just randomly floating on a streaming service.
Mind you, a great one.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, to your point, Anora, indie movie. The Brutalist, like shoestring budget compared to other major motion pictures, especially one as, I guess, big in scope, apparently. I haven't seen it myself, but from what I've heard, it's like a very classic American drama over years. And to do that on the budget that it had is really impressive. So, yeah, I mean, for something like that to stand toe-to-toe with something like Wicked, for instance, is, impressive.
A Complete Unknown, I would say, is right there in that middle category. Where big star. The subject matter, also, important pop culture figure.
Sure. Tried and true format of the biopic.
The biopic.
The biopic.
The biopic.
Yeah.
Really grinds my gears when
I
people
don't
call it
like
a biopic, man.
I don't like it.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Biography.
Biopic.
Oh, I may have proved myself wrong.
Biopic.
Biography. Biopic.
Biography.
Oh no, it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Oh no. Oh
Biopic.
no.
But it's not biopic.
It's biopic.
It's always been a biopic.
It's true.
Because it's a biographical picture.
Okay.
Biographical picture.
We are
That's why.
We are so back.
It's
baby.
not. It's yeah.
It's not a biography picture.
It's not a biography.
Right.
It's a biographical picture.
Yes. Okay.
Biopic.
Okay.
You dumb sluts. I'm so sick of it. It's not going to be a biopic, you stupid slut.
There's not going to be a house.
All right. I don't know. I feel like there's more fallout to come, but I can't think of anything. Oh, Zoe Saldana. That's
Yeah.
another good one.
Yeah.
So she wins the award for Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress, and then she gets asked. This is great. She gets asked in the post awards presser about the controversy and stuff, and about how Mexicans feel about the movie, and she was just like, I don't care how Mexicans feel about this movie. She just straight up was like, it's not about Mexico. It's the heart and soul of this movie is not about Mexico.
She came off so condescending. It was crazy.
And the way, I mean, like, oh God, man. And I when I talked about her, it was last week or the week before, and I was like, childhood crush, and I had to, now I got to walk back some stuff, you know, because the Nina Simone thing, I did bring it up, but now I saw some pictures of it, and I was like, it's way worse than I remember.
Real bad.
It's way worse.
Real bad.
And then
bad.
everybody's been making the Dominican I know black joke.
Yeah.
And it's like,
boy.
the minute that she can kind of distance herself. I mean, she was black when she was in black movies.
Yeah.
And now that she's not, and she can kind of move on and be like, listen,
she got the Enya back.
I played African Americans in films.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me an African American.
Sure.
And Yeah, so
but then also like trying to be this like paragon of what it means to be a actress of color as well.
yeah,
Trying
she
to
definitely
play it both ways a little bit.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm the first, but I definitely won't be the last, kind of thing. And it's like, interesting, interesting stance to take on that.
Yeah.
This year is gonna definitely be the year where everybody looks back and go, they gave Brody 2, and they're also gonna look back and be like, man, that Amelia Perez movie. Wow, they really, really, for some reason, unbeknownst to everyone, they fell over themselves to like make this movie a thing when it wasn't a thing.
Well, and if it wasn't for the controversy about it, both from the lead actress and the movie itself, I think it would have taken way more.
I stand by it as well. I think that trans actress would have won Best Actress.
What's her name? Carla Sofia Gascon? Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, you said it with a question mark, but you nailed it.
Okay,
actually.
good. I wasn't sure. Like the pieces were there in my mind. I just
Marco
wasn't sure.
Alexander Dupa? Is that their name?
Yeah.
And I think that, the controversy really prevented them from this being the Amelia Perez year, because
And I think they really wanted it to be.
I think
The Academy.
I really think you're gonna nominate Carla. You're gonna give it to Zoe.
Yeah.
You're gonna give it to Best Movie. I mean, I'm sorry, not Best Movie. Best Music. Best Score. Or Best Original Song.
Original
sorry,
song,
no, it wasn't
original
score.
song,
It was original song.
Score went to Brutalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just no way that it didn't have more winners.
Oh, yeah.
And that they didn't have to go back and be like, well, we certainly can't have this be like the Amelia Perez year.
100% happened.
You know?
Right?
But they
100%
couldn't
happened.
strip them all away, because then that would look weird too.
Yeah.
For a movie with 13 nominations not to win anything would be strange.
It's all politics. Like,
all politics.
You can tell. It absolutely is behind the scenes. They're just like,
Yeah. Well, when
what would look best?
The first time I heard, and I think I can't remember who it was, but it was an actor talking about having to campaign for his Oscar. I was like, campaign for his Oscar? What does that even
What
mean?
do you mean?
Yeah. And that's when you really find out, like, it's really all just
It's a
politics.
popularity contest. It's
Yeah.
It's more to do about the Academy itself than it is about the actors, I think.
Yeah. You gotta grease a few
Squeaky wheels. Oh my goodness.
Bless you.
Whose dad just sneezed?
Yeah, I think that's it though, right?
I think so. I think so.
Think that's it? I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got. It's okay. We can do a tight hour.
Yeah, we can do a tight hour. That's
what we used to
It's
do.
going to be an hour 30.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
When it's all said and done. Okay.
Got a couple more things to do.
Yeah, and a couple more things. He means the cheers of the week. So right now is where we decide to clink our glasses to something awesome, something cool, something noteworthy that we want people to know about. So it's now time for the cheers of the week. So Obi, you want to start us off?
I would love to. My
me.
cheers of the week goes to Conan. I mean, I don't have much more to add
Conan.
from what we already talked about his performance, but
I love Conan.
I think just the man's body work speaks for itself. I think he's probably the best of our generation.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm done debating. Argue with your mother.
yeah,
He's the best.
I gotta agree.
He's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
What Midas?
What Midas?
Yeah, I think he speaks to me in a way, in a comedic way that just no other presenter can. So yeah, shout out to Conan. I think he's great, and I want him to keep doing his thing.
I think he understands timeless comedy. Yeah. I think Conan is so smart when it comes to writing a joke that will work for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And that's why when you watch old clips of, the Conan show on TBS, or the stuff that he was doing, the Late Show stuff, like some of those bits are so timeless because what he wrote is so timeless. So that's why he can continue to he's just so comedically smart.
Yeah, and on top of that, again, his entire shtick is really there's like not a mean bone in it. You
Yeah,
know, it never comes off as like, I don't know, punching down.
Yeah.
It never comes off as being really distasteful unless like that's the point. And I think to do that consistently for so long and continue to be so likable and continue to be so funny is really rare.
I think that's the biggest thing. He's just so fucking likable.
Yeah.
He's like just,
But
like,
not like in a Jimmy Fallon way, you know?
I would argue that Jimmy Fallon is incredibly unlikable.
But his entire shtick is to be so likable.
He wants to be likable.
Right.
Yeah, that's the bit. That's the rub. He wants to be unlikable, and the Tonight Show and the fact that he gets all these A-list celebrities that they would want you to believe that he is likable.
Yeah.
But I mean I truly just get this just ugh from him.
Yeah.
I think women call it the ick.
The ick. Yeah, yeah. Fallon gives the ick.
The ick.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. My cheers of the week is going to John Cena. A photo. I'm doing this and the camera's off. I fucking forgot again.
Yeah.
John Cena is on his retirement tour, and he's done a couple of dates so far, and he was at Elimination Chamber this year. If you're even remotely interested in what I'm saying right now, if you have a Peacock account, go watch the Elimination Chamber because it was really fun. Basically, the 6 biggest male names in wrestling, minus one guy, Roman Reigns wasn't there, but otherwise, everybody was there. And Jey Uso, I guess. Excuse me. And at the end of the show, The Rock comes out, and I'm going to give a second for spoilers. If you care about this sort of thing. Okay. He turned heel.
Yeah.
John Cena turned heel for only the second time in his entire career, which this is big for wrestling fans because this was one of the most surprising and shocking heel turns. It is not hyperbolic to compare it to like the Hulk Hogan heel turn.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was a big fucking deal. It was on SportsCenter, man. It was everywhere. It made the news.
I saw on the following Raw, they did the thing where they show like all the kids crying.
Oh yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Hilarious.
It's awesome, dude. Now, I mean, I just want you guys to understand the scope of someone like John Cena turning heel. So this is his retirement tour.
Yeah.
So essentially, after this, his character is going to ride off into the sunset as a bad guy.
Yep.
Do you understand how fucking dope that is?
Yep.
From a wrestling perspective, to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a piece of shit on my way out.
Yeah.
Not only that, but speaking of all the kids crying and whatnot, John Cena has the Guinness Book World Record of granting the most make-a-wishes, I guess.
Yeah.
The rumor, I don't know if this is true, and so
I saw this.
but there's a rumor that WWE has got the copyright trademark. Thank you for Break-A-Wish.
Yeah.
The Break-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
So that's huge, and not just that, but I mean he was their baby face for like 15 years.
Oh yeah.
He was the guy. He was at the top of the company, and he was literally their ambassador. I mean, he would go from place to place being like, I'm John Cena of the WWE. And then you go and you see hustle, loyalty, respect, never give up. Literally Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Eat your vitamins, say your prayers, respect your parents.
All-American hero.
Yeah. Fuck Hulk Hogan, by the way.
Yeah. As always. I mean, kind of goes without saying at this point.
But I'm going to
keep saying it.
Keep saying it.
Yeah.
So for him to turn heel was fucking incredible. So I just have to big up the man who decided in the twilight of his career he was going to make a decision that everyone thought just would never happen.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Travis Scott because apparently he blew Cody Rhodes' eardrum by smacking him.
Slapped the hell out of him.
As he could. He put his head into the mat and just dropped the fucking hand.
Whack.
blew his eardrum and gave him a black eye.
God.
Because he is an untrained
Talent.
Yeah. Talentless.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's good. It's good.
One last thing. You know what it is. We got to review these brewskis. So tonight's brew was from Monday Night Brewing. It's their Death Raptor Killer IPA. Obi, what did you think?
I like this a good deal. You know, as I said at the very beginning, you definitely get the notes of the grapefruit, and it has that juiciness to it without being, you know, too hazy.
No,
It's just a little juicy, really.
pretty clear actually.
Yeah.
Pretty
Pretty
filtered.
clear.
Pretty clear.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, I am going to give this a 4.5.
Yeah.
I think this is very nice.
Yeah.
A good straight up the pipe IPA with a bit of fruitiness to it, but not over the top. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm interested to see what else Monday Night Brewing can provide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well. I was teetering on a 5.
Me
I'd
too,
say
me too.
4.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good, and it definitely has now kind of woken up this thing of I really want to get some more stuff from Monday Night Brewing. I'm curious to see how they tackle maybe a Czech style lager, or a sour, or a West Coast, like a straight up West Coast IPA.
I have no idea about these people, so
Yeah,
you know,
do
I don't know
bit
what
of
their
research.
I don't know what their like thing is.
Yeah.
You know? So curious, very curious.
Yeah, this could just be like their offshoot thing. I mean, that's really funny. Deadliest by.
Yeah, that's what sealed the deal for me. I'm like, okay, I got to grab this one.
Yeah. You got to appreciate the attention to detail in something like that.
Yeah, and also I do want to shout out the fact that I grabbed this from the Half Barrel Project. In Orlando, Florida. Very small, I would call microbrewery, really.
Yeah.
Check them out if you're in the Orlando area.
Check them out.
They're right by Universal. So, yeah.
All right. You think we got it?
No, we got it.
All right. Well, if Obi says we got it, then this episode is over. This has been the One Beer In podcast for myself, Marco Dupa, for Adam Obeses Rodriguez.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer. Have yourself a beautiful evening.
We love you. Oh, yeah.